Hey friends, this video will be specifically for those starting with deep learning. This video will mainly cover introduction and prerequisites to start learning deep learning and introduction to TensorFlow 2.0. Keep watching. A lot of channels nowadays concentrate on machine learning and data science, but my channel is specifically dedicated to deep learning and AI related technologies because these are the technologies which I work on every day. So what are the prerequisites to begin with deep learning? First, yes, you have to know one programming languages, preferably Python. Second, you should be well versed in some data analytics libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and scikit-learn. Third, yes, you should have some basic understanding of machine learning, guys. Yes, one person who is going to start his career as a data scientist, he cannot directly jump into deep learning because deep learning is a bit advanced compared to what machine learning is. Now, those who are watching this are new to my channel, I have created a few older videos which specifically tell about how to start with machine learning, but if you don't want to watch those videos, please check the description below. I have given you a few pointers which will help you, or I can tell you they are prerequisites to start with deep learning. So the history of deep learning all began with this one, guys. Yes, these are called neurons and they are the smallest unit of human brain. So when scientists studied about these neurons, they started thinking about how can we start preparing artificial neurons, or how can we mimic a brain and make artificial creation which can do same work like what we do. This idea actually inspired of creating a neural network. The neural network is nothing but a replication of human brain. You just saw an image of a neuron, like this is the smallest unit of human brain. The same way, whatever you are seeing on screen now is the smallest unit of a neural network. It's called a neuron. As the neurons in our brain receive the information from various sources like eyes or nose or a touch, same way these neurons in neural networks get the information through what we feed to them. Something like, hey, we feed a data, or we feed an image, or we feed an audio. They process it themselves and give some output. Okay guys, this tells you how the end-to-end neural network works. It has something like an input node, it has something like an hidden node, and it has an output node. Now whatever input you send will be processed through an hidden node, and from hidden node the output will be transferred to an output node. And all the input variables you give will have certain weights. Now what are these weights? I will talk about it later. That was the overview of what inspired neural networks and what inspired deep learning. Now, what is the difference between neural networks versus deep neural networks? Now, neural networks is when there is one hidden layer, and deep neural networks is when there are more than one hidden layers. So these both concepts are pretty similar, guys. It's just confusing, but both these concepts in the end means there is one single hidden layer or there are n number of hidden layers. So guys, enough of that history and theory. Now it's time to get started with one of the most innovative libraries of our centuries, we can call it, and that is TensorFlow 2.0. So when TensorFlow was launched in 2015 by Google, it was one of the most widely used libraries for doing deep learning. It had one drawback, like we had to write a lot of amount of code to even execute the simplest of tasks. This led to creation of some new libraries like pytorch and keras, which were much simpler to use compared to TensorFlow, and TensorFlow had started losing its importance. So what happened next is TensorFlow borrowed the idea of keras and it integrated keras on top of it, making it one of the most flexible libraries to use at current times for deep learning. So as of today, in 2020, TensorFlow 2.0 is one of the most widely used deep learning modules, probably because it's created by Google, and also because it has a huge community support. If you face some problems, there are enough forums which will give you solutions to any sort of errors you face when you develop a model. So guys, that was some quick introduction to TensorFlow 2.0, and in our upcoming episode we will develop a full-fledged model which using TensorFlow 2.0. Now I will create one model without using any libraries, second model just using NumPy library, and one final model using TensorFlow 2.0. This will give us an idea like how easy TensorFlow 2.0 has made our lives as far as creating a deep learning model is concerned. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe.